Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show. Grab your coffee or your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about. But before we get started on those red hot topics, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, we've got toast. Believe me, we've got you covered. And also, you could purchase my book, Life After the Diagnosis. If you know a survivor or you are a survivor, this is the book that you need. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started right, shall we?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show, honey. And just like the commercial says, grab your coffee and your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about today. First of all, let me just say this. This year is flying. I mean, literally flying. I looked at the calendar and I'm like, it's 8/25. It's August the 25th. Labor Day is just around the corner. Can you believe the madness? Well, maybe it's just me, but this year is flying. So anyway, am I the only one? I mean, you guys holler at your girl. I mean, am I the only one that feels like this year is flying by? Oh my gosh. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, everybody around the world. Okay, I am not going to just limit it to the United States. I appreciate the videos going viral. I really, really do. Oh, welcome in, come on in, as they say. And so let's get started. So if you are new to tuning in to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show, honey, all we do is talk about what you're talking about. And what is that? Well, you got your talking at the salon, you got the talking in the barbershop, you got the talking what happens at work. Well, I just gather the information and bring it to you to see what you think about it. That's it. And how did we get started? Girl, we got started. Child. Put it like that. Child. Chile. We got started during the pandemic when everybody was on lockdown. And I just basically just got my laptop and was like, what's going on in the world? Because everyone can't go anywhere. So let's just talk to one another. Well, here we are 2.5 years later. We are on the air. ATR, all things relevant. Hey. Our production company, thank you for picking us up. And thank you for the audience that you bring to the show. Thank you. And we originally came on Facebook Live. So those of you who are tuning in on Facebook, thank you. I appreciate all the love. I do. And we're just going to take it to the next level. That's all we're going to do is we're going to just level up. Yes, we are. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Oh, I was explaining to you how this show goes. Hello. So when you come on the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show, I need you to comment. So your comments are dealing with 3 red hot topics that we talk about, that you're talking about everywhere you are. Now, we don't do the gossiping, we don't do the cussing, we don't do any of that. We just basically see what your thoughts are on topics that everybody's talking about. So we just bring it to one platform so you can just engage. Yes. So let's get started. What is the first red hot topic, Monalisa? I'm glad you asked. Okay. So those of you who are going to school or who are in school, please click the new feature on Facebook that allows you to send us stars. This helps support this platform and allows us to keep bringing you these programs. Hey. all things relevant. Whoop, whoop, my production company. Yes. So, first things first, like I said, if you are in school, now let's break this thing all the way down. I heard through the grapevine that this is going down, student debt relief. When I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. This sounds familiar because Joe Biden came in the door talking about student debt relief. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a few moments. But I just want to get your thoughts and your brain stimulated to know what we're talking about today. So we're going to dive into that one first. And then secondly, we're going to talk about California to issue rule banning new gas car sales in 2035. Now, I know that might sound like a long time from now, but check it. It's 2023 now, getting ready of 2022, getting ready to be 2023. So the clock is ticking. And just to think of you banning regular gas cars, you can't even wrap your brain around it? Exactly. Just like we couldn't wrap our brain around automatic driving cars. But it's here. Tesla. So, hey, this is what we're going to talk about in the second red hot topic. And the third red hot topic, you guys, I've been waiting on this. I'm like, it's about time. School police chief fired 3 months after Uvalde massacre. I'm wondering what took you so long, to be honest with you. Once you got all the evidence, all the video, all the parents pleading and begging for these officers to be held accountable, why 3 months later? But I want to get your thoughts on that as well. But before we get all stirred up, I know you guys have been like, where is Mona Lisa's husband? We miss him. Did you miss me? Y'all remember Martin? I love, man, Martin's reunion. Okay, that's a whole different thing. But I saw the Martin Lawrence reunion and I just loved it. Just absolutely loved it. But anyway, it took me back to Tommy Davidson when he was, did you miss me? Yeah. Well, Gary's back. Yes, he is. And he's doing well, by the way. What was that? Thursday before last or last Thursday, I told you guys that he had surgery on his rotated cup on the shoulder. So maybe he can talk a little bit about that when he comes on in the room. But hey, I want everybody to give my husband Gary a clap, 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 clap. With Lord have mercy. You know what? See, here I am doing the introduction, doing the drum roll, doing the most over here, and he is still not coming to. Come on, honey. Come on. All right. So anyway, we're going to keep it moving. So we are going to start with the red hot topic. I want you guys to get going with me and tell me a little bit about what you think about the red hots today. Okay? So let's start with the thing that got me excited because I'm in school. So when I saw this, I got excited. Student debt relief. I'm sitting here going, okay, tell me how much, what we doing, when, I'm ready. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. Come on in the room, Gary Monroe. Come on in the room.
I'm trying to get here.
Yeah, I see you trying.
I'm trying to get here.
You trying to get here?
Yes, I'm a little incapacitated.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, a little incapacitated here.
Okay. Well, you only got one on.
One on.
Yeah. So you want to tell the audience what happened?
Well,
because they were missing on you.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were missing on you.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm back. Haven't gone anywhere. I've just been in the background, for the most part. Yeah. When you got someone like
no, we're not going to do
Monalisa,
that. We're not going to do that this morning.
So bright and so brilliant and just so so refulgent in her personality, her persona, and her presentation. you know, I'm a shy, but she has a glow about her that just lights up the room in the world.
Well, thank you, baby.
At least my world.
Well, amen. That's the world that counts, okay?
That's the world that counts.
So, what happened to your shoulder, my love?
Well, for those who may not
tell
know,
the audience.
Tell the audience.
Yes, let's share.
I'm a longshoreman, so I was at work one night and lashing what we call, and an accident took place where I actually, get the camera right, crushed my hand, and in the process, tore my rotator cuff.
Rotator cuff.
In 2 places. So that was in March, yeah? So since March, we have been, had to do
physical
some
therapy,
surgery on my hand, as well as therapy, recovery with my hand. The hand has progressed, I would say 98%.
98?
Yeah, I mean, there's still some numbness at the tip of my fingers.
Oh, okay.
But for use of them, I still have no pain or anything like that. And then, but my shoulder, which I just had the rotator cuff surgery, last week it was?
Yes.
Last week.
Last week.
Whenever it was.
You've been progressing so well. It was actually just last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever it was. But she says last week. So we went ahead and made a decision to go ahead and have the rotator cuff surgery.
Yay.
Surgery was a success. Needless to say, it's painful.
It is.
Recovery is painful.
No lie.
And particularly when you're a person like myself, you
do.
Yeah.
Want to do and do and do. Yes.
But thank God for the wife that I have. The wife that I have, she's like, I got you, baby. I got you, baby. Just relax. But it becomes hard to relax when you are so accustomed to doing.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
that's why I say I'm here for you.
Well, that's the growth process for the both of us.
I'm here for you.
Think,
because you're so independent.
And it's both of us.
He gonna throw me in there.
Yeah.
He gonna throw me in there.
It's both of us because, believe it or not, Monalisa and I have only been married, 3.5 years. And I know they could appear to be that we've been together forever in spirit.
Yes. In spirit and in truth.
But in reality, we're growing in grace, and that grace entails, not just knowing and learning one another, but accepting, why God put this together. And first and foremost is to be a helpmate for one another.
Right. And that's probably a show that I need to do all in one, because a lot of times when trauma or life happens in a marriage, it tests the love, it tests the relationship that those two people have.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, you have 2 different types of people, right? And I do trauma different than you do trauma. So we have to come together and come in agreement and figure out how we do one another in this particular situation. And
I know this is not the topic you were talking about,
but it's good. But it's good.
Thing to be able to just move in the flow,
right? And that's what we do.
What I'm by nature, when I say a fighter, a protector, as we would say, an alpha male. I had a blessed father, grandfather, uncles, all of them were strong men in my life. I've always had strong coaches, strong mentors and deacons and pastors and ministers. And so I assume my responsibility, just being a man, I assume that responsibility with, if anything, with good pride.
Right.
And purpose. And we had this conversation where it was, listen, dog, you don't have to fight. Leave the fighting to me. God has put you in a place to flourish, right? So that's a transition in and of itself, in that, because she's used to fighting, whether it's fighting by faith or fighting with her fist.
Okay, so
or fighting with that chopper.
With that what?
Yeah.
But no, okay, so that we sort of.
So she's learning to flourish.
We sort of sort of glided off topic.
Let's
So let's
see
get
here.
back. Let's bring it back in.
Yeah, bring it back
and talk about the topics today. And I see so when you guys see me looking, like I stated before, if I'm looking in other locations, it's because we're on different platforms. And on Facebook, we have Julius Hall. Hey, Julius. The relief is not on new debt. You must have acquired the debt before June 30th of 2022. Now, you are correct. This is not new debt. This is debt that you have already acquired. Okay. So, before you get all excited and go and start going to school and thinking you're going to get free tuition, that's not the case. For those of us that have been in school ever since 2020, right. You qualify. Now, the battle or the say so right now is how much does that look like? Now, right. they're talking about 10, but Joe Biden promised 50. So what do you what's your thoughts on that? I know you'd be happy, wouldn't you?
Well, of course, to have some of that student debt relief. I mean, anyone would be. It's interesting, however, that this was a campaign promise.
Oh, yeah.
That was made when he initially ran.
Yes.
What was that? What is this? In 19, what it was? 19, I believe.
Yeah.
When he ran for office.
He was talking big.
And so now here we are coming somewhat, 2 years to the end, left on the term. Yeah, he has to make good on that promise because, right. I mean, why we like to make the political race about race, black and white, and gender, male and female, even more so in this time now, you got to make campaigns age appropriate. How do you get the vote of young Americans? Okay, that's black and white, young Americans.
Yeah.
And so that was a promise he made that generated and garnered a lot of votes.
Younger votes.
You see what I mean? That got college. A lot of people voting who had this student debt.
Right.
And so, right. He has to make good on his promise, or it's going to be tough trying to get reelected.
And see, my thing, and I hope he's not running again, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I hope so President Joe Biden. Look, I'm not respect. That's what I said. President Joe Biden. Right. I don't blame you for just now kicking this thing in because he had to handle the pandemic for one. So student debt wasn't on anyone's mind at that time. Okay, 2020 was a wrap. You had to deal with I'm talking about the George Floyd situation, race. I mean, it was a lot going on in 2020. Then in 2021, you had to deal with the jobs being, leaving and no one wants to go to work and da. So 2023, your main focus, you got it, dude. It is student debt relief because those were one of the promises that you stated. And so we're going to hold you accountable, especially the students that voted for you.
Well, that would be me. Probably 60 to 70% of Americans.
Yeah. I mean
that may be and I'm just guessing.
That's true. That's a lot of students.
That's a lot of student debt to cancel, millions of dollars. So,
But who is it going to? Is it going to the city? Is it going to the state? Is it going to the federal government? No.
As far as what?
The payback.
Well,
it's going to the organizations that lent the money.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, y'all got money.
I heard it from Monalisa. Monalisa got money.
Y'all got money.
Show me the money. Give me the money.
Got money, So I'm like, okay, so it's time for you to follow up on the promises.
Yeah, I think particularly in this place where we are in this economy now, you got to find ways to put resources and revenue back in the hands of everyday Americans.
That's right.
Everyday Americans.
The working class Americans. And a lot of people think working class is 80,000 and up.
Yeah.
Working class, baby, is now 150.
Well, hey man, I mean, exactly. True. Because exactly what you think about when you think about the limit, what is it, 125? the debt relief program is for those who are making 125
right and
lower.
Oh, and lower.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
125 and lower.
Okay.
125 and lower, then the program applies to you. Mm-hmm. But you got to think that
that's middle class,
right? So
$125,000.
You're making $125,000. You say, "Hey, man, I'm living good. That's a good pay." So that means that's a lot of Americans
that are working
and making hard. A good pay. But when you have even inflations, cost of living, and all of those things,
yes,
on top of
housing,
high cost of mortgage, rent,
Lord,
and things of that nature, how far is that 125 stretching you? So that's just at the top. That's not saying to the median average income of Americans, which perhaps may be what, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000.
Look, it's hard out
here.
You
have student loan. You have student loan
that's charging you $500 a month.
That's $70,000, $80,000 worth of student loan.
That's a lot of doggone money. And just to think that this is just a little bit of what we need to take the pressure off Americans right now. Just the thought of you just taking this one debt away will help so many people, President Biden. So if you come through with this, you got a good chance to.
Well, you got to see. You got to see. It's not just taking debt away as a monetary factor. You got to see how this affects you across the board, because it affects your credit.
Oh, yeah, true.
You see,
true.
So
your buying power.
Absolutely,
that's true.
Putting it in that perspective.
Yes.
So it's more than just saying it's debt relief in the sense of its monetary value.
Yep.
You're talking about, as Monalisa alluded to, your buying power and buying potential. It affects your credit.
What? Cuz, what's going on? What? I haven't heard from you or seen you in so long. Seen you. That's my cousin. I hope you're still. Oh my gosh, 250 for married couples.
Right.
So it's 250.
Right.
For married couples. Right. Wow. Thanks for that information.
So that's pretty good for a household. Wow. How many households?
That is crazy. Thanks, Byron.
Making 250 plus.
Shoot, man, that is insane in the membrane. Y'all remember that song? That's what that is. Byron laughing at me. Byron. So yeah, this is the.
How many of y'all saw the Martin reunion?
That's what I was telling them. That's what I was telling them earlier. I don't want to get off topic, but that reunion is everything. Yeah. But this debt relief, I think, would put President Joe Biden in a great situation if he can pull it off. Especially if he can pull off 50. Now, right now, they're talking about 10,000. I'm going to tell you right now, 10,000 is 1 year of books in some people's lives. 10,000 is maybe a semester when it comes to tuition.
Yeah.
So let's break that thing down and say 50, President Joe Biden, because that was your promise. $50,000. And I'm going to stand firm right now and tell you, if it's $50,000, I will be debt free. So
can't say that I would. Not as it relates to student loan.
Oh man, I would be debt free. I don't have major student loans.
But
so
it would definitely improve my
it'll take it down a little, yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely improve my
credit score.
My credit score.
Insane.
Yeah.
It'll be 800. Yeah. So 810. So the second red hot topic that we're going to talk about today is California to issue a rule on banning new gas car sales in 2035. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking 2035 is a long time from now.
We should have seen that one coming.
Until you look at the date. It's 2022, getting ready to be 2023. And I'm sitting here going, O-M to the G. Think about California telling you that you cannot drive a regular gas car. That is crazy. But I'm going to tell you right now, we thought a self-driving car was crazy. Well, here we go. Another thing that we can't really see, but it's happening. It is definitely happening, my people. So, what do you guys think about California starting this trend of banning regular cars and going full time electric? Now, what I can tell you is this: when those gas prices skyrocketed, I actually wish I had an electric car. I promise. So, hey, Miss Gladys, how are you? So, what do you guys think about this ban that's going to happen? It's going to happen. It might just be a conversation now, but people, don't get it twisted. It's going to happen because of gas prices,
right,
and who we there's a better term than what I'm going to say, but who we're in the bed with when it comes to gas, getting gas to come to the U.S.
Oil prices.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about that? How would you feel about someone telling you do not drive a gas car? It's banned.
Well, yeah, it's not about saying do not, as far as asking you.
Oh yeah, that's true. You
California's
better not.
putting a ban on it. I mean, that's a ban on. That's letting you know exactly where we're going.
Yeah, exactly.
So, in order to make this transition from gas to electric, we have to cut off the sale and the production of gas vehicles. You have to take those out of circulation.
You're right.
You just can't.
You're right. Right. You gotta stop making them.
Right. You can't just keep putting those in circulation.
Yeah.
Because now you're talking about dual gas stations and fuel up stations.
That's true.
So that's going to stretch your infrastructure.
That's true.
But I think, wasn't it something that was early on in President Biden's presidency? There were so many billions of dollars set aside for what you call it, those charge stations. Billions of dollars that were set aside.
Companies,
right,
that were investing in electronic stations. Y'all are millionaires right now because, I mean, if you put stock in electric car pieces, engine, or not engine, but whatever, how they make it, electricity or whatever, you are now a millionaire because that's what it is. Byron, my guess is they're incentivizing electric and hybrid car purchases, which is great for the environment. And it really is. It really is. Truth be told, it's better for the environment. Do y'all remember the pictures that was circulating after the pandemic when we were on shutdown? The skies were clear. Everything was, the birds, people were listening and hearing birds that never thought, they never heard birds before.
What was it?
Do you remember that?
Right.
It was crazy.
What was it? That's interesting.
Bees.
That people had never heard the bees chirping in the morning.
Yeah.
But
it was crazy.
Pollination of bees, they began to see that.
Oh, everything started healing itself when we were on lockdown, when the people were on lockdown because we're the one tearing up the ozone. Well,
Herschel Walker said that.
Right, Byron, it was
Herschel Walker said,
we are not even going to talk about Herschel.
The good air that we have and the bad air that China has.
There you go.
And because we didn't do anything about it, China has taken our good air and replaced it with their bad air. So now we got to go and produce some more good air.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Herschel, look here. That's going to be a show. Julius, let me tell you something. We're going to have to do a show on that one because
darling,
Herschel is, man.
Okay, you were talking with Senator Warnock yesterday, yeah?
Yes, Senator Warnock was here in Garden City.
Yeah.
And I held a conversation with him. Is that not amazing?
Yeah.
I can tell him to come on the show so we can talk about Herschel.
Well, that
ain't gonna do that.
No, that was the conversation because you said something to the effect about the the debate, and he said, "What debate?
What debate?" You know what? Senator Warnock, I cannot wait until you do this. Now, what's been told is, now I don't know how true this is. I had to ask my husband, y'all, because this is so out there. They asked Herschel Walker to do the debate on a Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
They asked Warnock and Herschel Walker to have a debate on Thursday. And it has been said, allegedly,
right,
that Herschel Walker said, we cannot have a debate on Thursday because it will affect Monday Night Football.
Yeah, either Sunday night or Monday Night Football. It's a video that's circulating that he was saying. Now, I
don't want to believe he did that.
Well,
I don't.
I would at least say,
I can't believe
look at the video.
I don't want to believe it.
Look at the video, and I don't know. Try to give Herschel the benefit of the doubt by putting it or keeping it in context. I mean,
and you know what, Bishop said, don't take 25 seconds and judge somebody for 25 years. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pull 10 seconds out of a context that he has out of the clip.
Yeah.
So
but
maybe.
Yeah.
But if he said he cannot debate on a Thursday because it will affect Monday.
He said Sunday or Monday Night Football.
Night Football. Somebody better go get Herschel Walker.
It will conflict with the football. It will conflict with the NFL schedule.
Somebody better go get him. That's all I gotta say. Okay, getting back on topic.
Run, Herschel, run.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so getting back on topic. Lord, y'all. Okay, this show is organic. Okay, we're organic.
Absolutely.
Okay, so.
You got some responses from your
okay.
Facebook audience?
Okay, we don't want to leave anyone out. No, we good. Okay, so school police chief fired 3 months after Uvalde massacre. Now, I was saying earlier, this should have happened immediately after the video leaked, well, so-called quote-unquote leaked, and after the footage came, how he handled that information of that situation, he should have been fired.
You sounded like Curtis Bloatis now. A preacher or teacher or electrician, a fighter or writer or politician, the man with the key to your ignition. Monalisa is competition.
Hey, I should have got some beatbox going on. Y'all, we are best. We are best. Okay, so what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess, you said that they should be,
he should have been fired
immediately.
3 months later.
But I guess, after investigation, as well as, examining all the information and facts, looking at the videos that were published. And I think initially they published those videos in that took place with when those guys were in the hallways and so on and so forth.
Which was horrible.
But it's a tragedy on all ends.
Oh my
it's
God.
A tragedy
it's
on
horrible.
all ends.
Horrible.
I'm one to say yes, a person should be held accountable for their actions in that respect or regard.
Good grief.
And of course, the lives of those children that were lost, the grief of the parents.
Horrible.
And it's no situation to celebrate on either end for me.
Well,
because even with him in that respect or regard, he didn't ask for this. Now, granted, when we say his professionalism, he's the chief, the sheriff, whomever, he should be more professional and be more trained in how to handle situations. But in all honesty, when you think since that, that's when Savannah even took on some more training with regard to how to respond to school shootings.
That's correct. Most schools
are not prepared.
Who would be prepared of someone coming in your school with an AKA? Literally, unless you're in the military. Now, if you're a military police officer and someone comes in there with an AKA, you are prepared and then some. Please believe.
Right.
But if you have no military training and someone's coming to you with a gun that's going faster than anything you've ever seen or heard, then who am I to say you should have did this and you should have did that? That's the last thing, because I don't know. But what I do know is there's training out there, and some of the officers were looking, just come on now. So you yourself should have taken on a lead role in sending your officers straight in, because when
77 minutes, that was
my
the
God,
duration,
an hour and 30.
Yeah, that's 77
an hour
minutes.
and 30.
Yeah.
And just to think that some of them was checking their phones, hand sanitizer, all of this stupidness. And so, I would understand if you were scared, because, that's crazy. But to do the other stuff, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
you were terrified.
And of course, we're not
fight or flight
as citizens or freeze. We're not as citizens. We're not in those predicaments. But this is why we celebrate law enforcement, military, not for their fear, but for their bravery.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
so,
right.
So
that's good. That's really good.
When you
consider your bravery,
when you consider, hey, this is what we're celebrating. We know it takes guts. You're fearful when you're out on that battlefield.
Man,
fearful when you have to address and go into an active shooting environment. You're human, but that's where your professionalism kicks in, your training kicks in.
That's right.
That you don't run from conflict.
You go to it, baby.
You pursue the conflict. You don't freeze, flight, but you pursue the conflict, because ultimately, just like what happened in Effingham, in Rankin the other week at some, I don't know if it was a 4th of July parade. They were just celebrating this officer in Rankin just yesterday for his bravery, because at the parade, someone broke through the barrier in their vehicle, and they were charging in their car, and he recognized that this person came through the barrier and was about to mow down pedestrians
in a parade.
In the parade, so
my God!
He in turn took his patrol unit and cut the car off and hit it head on.
Wow!
Right? So
how about I didn't know that?
They had it on I don't know if it was early in the year or last year, but it was at some parade that was taking place in Rankin.
Now, Effingham, Rankin, what he's mentioning is like 15, 20 minutes from where we are. Right. So I did not know that.
Right.
But you know what? It goes back to what I was going to say previously. Listen to this. It was a high school student. It was a school shooting at his school, and he bum rushed the gunman. A high school student. It was a football player. So it goes back to your guts and your bravery, to be honest with you. Because that little boy, he was in high school.
You have to be.
It's got to be in you.
You can't really say
it's
what you would or would not do.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying
you.
Okay. I'm just saying anybody, general public, because actually law enforcement would say to you, in the general public, that you should not engage. Right. But you never know what you would do.
Never know.
It's like, they say when you approach, if you come across an alligator, you shouldn't approach. But if an alligator has your child,
right,
you're throwing all reason aside.
Do you remember that clip of that? It was a black father.
Yeah.
And an alligator came towards his yard, and his kids was in the yard. This black father got a trash can and put the alligator in the trash can.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your kids, you get superhuman strength.
Right. So and that may be the case in the moment, and that's the unfortunate thing of human reaction of a civilian is to fight
Yeah.
Not flight or freeze.
Fight.
Certainly, one was expecting these professional trained law enforcement
to go in
to say, hey, particularly, I mean, you don't want this to happen anywhere.
Ooh, little kids.
But at least on a high school level, you would say teenagers are in a physical capacity to fight back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you think of elementary school, you're talking about kids, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age. They're not in a physical capacity. Mental capacity.
That'll make you want to hurt something.
Exactly.
And that's a good point, baby, because when it comes to little kids that they can't fight for themselves, it puts something on you to make you go off. So let me tell y'all something. So, you remember? Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened to me. When was this, babe? Last week? I
don't know. Let's see.
I think this was last week. Okay, so
let's hear the story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened. Now, this is a true story. I tell you no lie. So I'm walking. I do a walk about 3 miles every morning, right? And so on my walk, I'm walking up the street and I see 2 women going at it. You hear me? I'm talking about going blow for blow. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, look at this. This is a fight breaking out in the middle of it was in a parking lot. Okay, let me make that plain. It was in a parking lot. And these women were boom. I'm talking about boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, I see the woman hit this woman so hard, she fell on the ground, right? And then she started kicking the woman on the ground. And I'm like, this woman is getting beat down. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm finna mind my own business because I don't know who got a weapon or what. And then all of a sudden, I saw this 4-year-old little boy. He jolted. He jolted out in the street to get help because he was with these 2 ladies and he was crying and he had a little backpack on. I tell you no lie, y'all.
Wonder Woman.
Look, I got strength from the heavens above. And I went towards those 2 women going at it and I broke them up, like took one, threw her over there, took the other one, threw her over there. And I was like, what is, and I can't even tell you what all I said. I did not cuss, but I can't remember because I was just in this fight mode because of this little 4-year-old boy crying. And so I'm like, what is y'all's problem? Blah, blah, blah. So long story short, it was her mother.
The daughter fighting the mother.
The daughter tearing her mother up. Now, who was kicking who? The daughter had her mother on the ground kicking her. Y'all, when I found out that was her mother, I was like, yo, what is wrong with you? And so finally, I got everything to settle in. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Da, da, da. So what happened was they were coming from New York. They were going to New York, coming from Florida. Right. And they pulled over to throw down.
Right. Here's a funny thing. So they're on 95.
Yeah.
You have to, for those who understand the area. So where this took place was right by Southbridge, in the parking lot in the where the old Kroger's was over there. So that's where she was walking. Okay. So they were coming from Florida, 95 north. They got in an argument. So apparently they had to pull off 95, drive 2 miles, 16, right? To Dean Forest exit
to fight
to Southbridge intersection,
baby,
and pull over and fight.
And I'm talking about
that's wanting to fight.
I'm talking about they were waiting to pull that car over.
But
wait a minute, I'm not. Whoa. So when I finally said to them, okay, y'all got to get in the same car, and continue to travel. You guys got to come to an agreement. So they finally came to an agreement in order to get in the car.
Yeah.
I turned to that little 4-year-old boy and I said, do you know Jesus? And he said, yes. And I said, you pray to Jesus that you make it to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm telling you? And he said, yes. And all of a sudden he got this strength, right? And he pulled his shoulders back, and then he got in the truck and he got in the car, and then here they come. Yeah, we know. Amen. We know Jesus. We pray.
Yeah.
We Christians. I was like, y'all get in that car and get on up out of here.
I would have liked to know if they made it to New York.
Right. But I tell you, y'all, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was insane.
But to the story, it's reacting in a given situation.
Right.
You never know what you would do in a given situation and what will prompt you to make a move.
Right.
Had you not moved, there's no telling what could have happened.
Right.
The police could have came by and arrested someone.
Man.
Because
it would have got ugly.
Yeah, it would have got ugly.
It would have got ugly.
You never know.
And so I told that story to say that when you're in, like you said, a situation like that, you don't know what you'll do. And I wouldn't have bothered them because I'm the last one to start fighting and all that. You know, just like I told y'all last week, I don't understand how you got women boxers. This face, I don't want you beating up. I don't want no black eye. I don't want no swole lip. No, thank you. But, you know, when the baby, I just was like, no. So just to think, this isn't even a fight. This is killing. I mean, a slaughter.
Yeah.
What in the world? And you checking your phone. I don't know. Anyway, so what did you guys think about today's red hot topics? And if you came in late, we you could always replay. Click like and share the show. Thank you so much. And tell me, give me some comments, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Today we talked about student debt relief, and then we talked about California putting a ban on gas cars in 2035.
And let me say something to that. And
which one?
The California ban.
Okay.
And that going forward and the trajectory of where that's going.
Right.
I remember I was in the early 80s, right out of high school. I was working for Union Camp. That's a paper mill, and we made paper bags, the paper grocery bags for all the grocery stores. We made the big Walmart bags. I worked in that department. And so I remember when they came to us and they said, we're going to plastic.
It was unheard of.
And you couldn't
even wrap your brain around it.
That how are you going to make plastic grocery bags?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now we were preparing for it. And we just couldn't grasp the idea of how are you going to make plastic paper bags when we've been making these brown thick paper bags, forever. And then surely but surely, as they did, we began to scale down the production of the brown bags until they closed that department. And that's how I ended up leaving Union Camp, is because they closed the department. Right?
It's gonna be a lot.
They closed the department, and therefore all the grocery stores locally, you saw them using all of the paper bags that were already in circulation.
Right.
And probably like 6 months to a year later,
gone.
Here it was, plastic bags everywhere. And
now they're complaining about the plastic bags.
As far as what?
Recycling. They're hard to recycle, is what I'm told.
Yeah, is it? But now just think of a generation now who never used plastic bags. I mean, brown paper bags.
Yeah.
That they're like, how was a brown paper bag?
Man,
so
we use those.
That's the same thing we use book covers. Oh, you remember? You remember?
You know what? Black people. I'm sorry. But people in general are very creative.
Yeah.
Because when we were using the brown paper bags, they were book covers. Everything. Lunch bags. And just to think, the plastic bags I saw on TikTok. We use a plastic bag for hair. We put it on after we wash our hair. We use plastic bags for trash bags. I mean,
for your bathroom
child,
trash
please.
bags.
And I also during Black History Month, you do a lot of researching and things like that. And I read that the reason why the broom is the broom because of the slaves that was trying to get an easier way to clean the floor. Mm-hmm. We are just so creative innovative and creative as people. It's just amazing. So yeah, that's going to be something that's going to happen, people. So kiss your cars goodbye.
What is the model? I'm waiting on the Model P truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
The Model P truck.
Yeah, it's Tesla.
Oh, the Tesla. Oh, okay. Because Ford with Model T. I didn't put it together. But yeah, so Tesla. It was hard to wrap your brain around a car that drives itself.
That Model P truck.
And check this out. Uber is using automatic driving cars. So here comes your Uber. Nobody's in the car. But you get in the car and go wherever you want to go. Is that not crazy? Would you get in an Uber? Would you get in an Uber that has no driver?
Listen. I don't know if I will get in, but what fascinates me about all of that is
the Jetsons.
The Jetsons. It originally aired in prime time from September 23.
Wow.
To, 1962.
62.
Right.
Wow.
That's when the Jetsons started in 62.
Oh wow. That's when they started or stopped?
That's when it aired.
That's when it aired.
That's when it first aired.
When did it go off?
And it said 63.
It was only on for 1 year?
About a year.
Now, people.
But here's the thing.
1 year. Come on now.
But here's the thing.
They gave you a sneak peek.
That's 60 years ago.
60.
That we were watching the Jetsons aired, and the Jetsons had cell phones,
FaceTime,
all of that. Exactly right. FaceTime, Facebook, whatever you want to call it.
Zoom. The Jetsons had all of that.
Hanna-Barbera knew something, eh?
Man.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Flintstones too.
Cars,
think about it.
The electric cars, all of it.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Another movie that gave you a sneak peek. Okay, so the Jetsons gave you a sneak peek. The Simpsons always give you a sneak peek. And Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. That gave you a sneak peek. Mission Impossible. What was that? I forgot. Minority Report. That gave you a sneak peek. Mm-hmm. Some movies give you sneak peeks of what's going to happen in the future.
What is said about theater, that it's life projecting art projecting life, or imitating. Yeah, one of the two: life imitating art,
and art imitating life. Yeah.
And yeah, you can rest assured that in everything you're watching, it is a combination of life imitating art and art imitating life.
Sneak peek.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sneak peek. All right. So before we jump off, I do want everyone in the area in Garden City, I'm going to promote it too. The Housing Fair, Garden City. We are having a housing fair /expo, September the 10th. Please go to the link and register. It's free. It's free to the public. Vendors, if you are interested in being a vendor for this particular event, it is $100. Just go register. If you want to be a food truck at this vendor, $150, just register. We've got some great stuff going to happen on this particular day. We've got Representative Carl Gilliard
is the keynote.
Keynote speaker. He's going to give you some information about the DREAM program. What is that about? That's about finding you a home.
You have to come see.
Okay. Well, yeah, you
but
gotta
it's about making your dream a reality. And
there you go. The DREAM program. So he's going to tell you about that. And we also have a few district representatives and things like that coming out to tell you about what is about to come to Georgia. And Reverend, there we go, Reverend Senator Raphael Warnock was just here yesterday, and he dropped a bomb on all of us, telling us that he's going to try to pass a bill for affordable housing for Georgia. So I reached out to his people, and hopefully someone can maybe come to the housing fair to speak a little bit about that. Hopefully. He actually said that he was going to check his schedule, so we'll see. I would be super excited, baby. Let me tell you something. If I have Senator Warnock at this,
it speaks volumes to what we are doing here in Garden City, and
right?
What we've been talking about in Garden City for the last 12 years. The importance of residential development, and this is something that I've been speaking on, since we were at that pivotal point of relocating our city hall, that we need to focus on residential development. And now the city is catching up. Everybody is catching up. The state is catching up. The city is catching up in saying that we have to focus on residential development in Garden City. If not now, it will never happen. And we're not talking about the growth of Garden City. We're talking about the preservation of what already exists.
Right.
That is what is even more so at threat. Not that we have to grow to generate income for the city, but we're talking about preserving the first ring and historic communities that already exist. That's why residential development is so vitally important. So we have the state senator saying that he's in support of this. We have Representative Carl Gilliard saying he's in support of this. Now the mayor and members of Council of Garden City and city manager said they're in support. We're just looking for a more greater collaboration with the city of Garden City to say, hey, if residential development is important, then it is important to collaborate and connect with the Garden City housing team, which was birthed out of the Garden City, our Garden City City Council.
That's right.
So in either case, I turn it back over. It's been a good show. Thank you for having me back on.
You're welcome,
glad to
honey.
be back.
We miss you. We miss you. Before we go, I did want to go ahead and give you guys some more information about the housing fair. Go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com, or you can go to the Facebook page for Garden City Housing Team. Garden City Housing Team has a Facebook page. All the information is on that page. Click like and share the page. You'll get all the information on what the Garden City Housing Team is doing in Garden City, because we're doing some big things, baby. We're doing some big things. I can't wait to share what's going to happen in 2023 with you guys. So before we go, we're going to say one last thing about an upcoming election that's supposed to be taking place in 2023.
And that is, yes, I will be running Gary Monroe for mayor of Garden City. Yes, again, because when you have a calling of God and when you're passionate about the city that you live in and you have a vision to grow that city, to build that city and make that city a better city, you keep pushing, you keep going, you keep trying until you're in a place to make a difference in that city. And so, yes, I am running, and you hear it here, for Mayor of Garden City 2023, Gary Monroe, making Garden City a better city to live, work, and play in.
All right. You heard it first at the Monalisa Monroe Show, baby. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show. Oh, no. Okay. You guys have a good one.